fun. I like to laugh. I like to meet people who can make me laugh.
Good morning.
I like having fun.
Good morning. Hello.
I like having fun.
To meet people who laugh. Okay. Oh, did I send a bad link?
Hi.
Make a good point.
Get this fucking iPack off my screen. Get him off! Fuck him! Good morning, everybody. I don't want any more bullshit. Listen, shut up. We have a big show. I'm not going to mess around with a 19-minute introduction from you. You hear me? What an honor, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. Good morning. Good morning from Glendale, California. It is April 30th. Thank you, Doug Lucenhop, DJ Douggpound in the house. Vic Berger in the house, literally. Matt Carlin, Wes the engineer. Everybody's here to give you the ultimate show. Today is going to be a special show beyond belief. Many people are talking. I was walking down the street, Glendale Brand Boulevard. Streets teeming with people. Everybody out there shopping, going to restaurants. And everybody, as I walk down the street, everybody, I'm talking everybody, old and young, the feeble, and I'm talking about guys with six-pack abs.
Hi.
And little old ladies trying to cross the street with the little bag and their little cane. They stop me. Each one. They say, I've just subscribed to patreon.com/officehours live, and it's changed everything.
Wow.
Folks, it's changed everything for everybody I see. They say they love Doug, they love Vic, they love the drops, and they love the energy of the show. They love the guests we're able to provide. And that makes me smile. It makes me proud. I go to sleep with a clean conscience. I no longer worry. I no longer fear that I'm disappointing anyone because the show we've been able to produce has generated nothing but smiles.
I love to laugh. I love to smile.
Need I say much more?
So, yeah, sorry, Doug, I got you down, but you're back up again. And in a lot of ways, we've made a perfect show. And that's what people are now saying. If you haven't joined patreon.com, we are less than 200 subscribers away from meeting our goal of reaching the Release the Cringe challenge, which is, I guess, that it sounds like, Matt, we're on track to launch that next week, unless it happens during the show. I find that very hard to believe. But if we have less than 200 people, Wes is taking a get support image shot, which is very cool to see. They're, I guess, tech supporting some Zoom issues, but are people enjoying the show? I think these are off. Our mics are off. Oh yeah, your mics are off. Sorry,
Are we on
There
now?
we go. Now we're here.
Sorry. Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I masturbate a lot.
You what now? What'd you say?
I masturbate a lot.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Coming this week.
I
masturbate a lot.
Today on the show, we've got Duncan Trussell is going to call in, talk about his new Netflix cartoon. We've got Gabe Gundecker. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it last name. This guy, have you heard this? The Zendaya is Michi song.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's amazing.
Who's saying yeah? Is that you? I thought that was a drop.
Yeah.
That's Duncan, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And then, as a big treat to me, a long time coming, we have America's #1 funny man, Neil Hamburger, calling in later today, as well as your Zoom calls and so much more.
I like that shit.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a lot of good times today. I want to just say yes, a big announcement regarding Patreon, and for any fans of the show, we have a merch. We have T-shirts now. We have a beautiful, incredible, wonderfully designed hand designed by Doug Lucenhop, and we have a a pack. If you join the patreon.com/office hours live, you'll get a discount, a bundle on the t-shirt, an office hours mug, and a signed postcard that you can see right here. Isn't
What does
that
the
beautiful?
shirt say, Tim?
The shirt says, I like having
I love
fun.
to laugh. I love to smile.
I love having fun.
I love
I like
to
having
joke
fun.
and have
I like
fun.
to laugh.
I love to laugh. I love to
Tim, I
smile.
want to give a shout out to the artist on that
Yes.
postcard too.
The
Tom
postcard,
DeGeeter.
Tom DeGeeter. Tom DeGeeter, thank you so much. And that's Tom_DE_GEETER on Instagram.
Okay.
Tremendous artist.
This is like a low-key flex.
If you want to get to the shirt, you just go to bit.ly/OHL store. That's bit.ly/OHL store. Let's have some fun.
Go on iTunes and buy it.
Let's get some calls. Let's check out the call. Are we ready for calls? Or are you guys still...
Oh yeah, we're ready.
Oh, you know, I got to turn the air conditioning on here. I'm dying already. Oh, it's already on. Uh-oh, that's a bad sign. All right, let's kick it up a notch. What's on high? Okay. Are you feeling that? Yeah. All right. I'm going to sweat today. Damn it. Thank you. Let's take Jason Page. Maybe he's the son of Jimmy Page. I think he's this is the son of Jimmy Page. I can't unmute here, Matt. I don't know.
Hi, Dad.
I don't have the ability to unmute Jason Page.
Sorry.
Sefa hi. Sefa hi to you.
I'm not seeing him. Is he on the first page?
Yeah.
Sefa hi.
Cefe.
I don't care. Give me anybody. I mean,
Here's Jason.
Hello?
hello, Jason. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. How's the show looking out there?
It looks
Primo.
perfect. Hi, you folks. Do you say I look like Jimmy Page?
No,
I'm
I
the
said
son
you.
of Jimmy Page?
No, I don't say you look like Jimmy Page. I say your name is Jason Page, so maybe you're related to Jimmy Page. The fuck, man?
I get Dave Grohl a lot.
Yeah, you do look a little bit like Dave Grohl. That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Got long
Me and my
hair
dad
for no
went to the
reason.
Same high school.
Why'd you cut your hair, huh? God damn it.
Tim, I think a couple of us are from the same area in Pennsylvania.
Oh, cool.
I know that's really interesting for you guys. Hey, but I was wondering, in your daily life, do your drops like pop up in conversations? Or do you like mutter them under your breath?
And by the way, Jason, shame on you for not starting this conversation with the official office hours greeting. Sefa hi,
I think that's really cool.
Sefe
Sefe Fefa.
Cefe Fef Cefa Hi.
Sefe Fef.
Sefa hi.
Sefe Fef Sefa hi. Sefe Fef Sefa hi.
I masturbate a lot.
Sefe Sefa hi.
Sefe Fef Sefa hi.
Sefa hi.
Sefe Fef Sefa hi. Okay, so if you can't handle that, you can't be a part of this experience. So Jason,
Try it again, Jason.
go to Georgia, go down to Georgia, get your hair cut, come back, learn the respect that we deserve here on Office Hours. We need you. Everyone, as we begin our day, I wake up every morning, I go right to the bathroom, I look right in the mirror, I say, Sefe Fef Sefa hi. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to show respect to the Office Hours Holy Trinity. Okay?
Sefa hi.
Goodbye, Jason.
Sefe Sefa hi.
How about Ellie? Ellie,
Hello.
Sefe Sefa hi.
what?
Sefe hi.
Okay, thank you. Hi, who's that? Your boy with you?
No, this is my little girl.
Oh, girl, sorry. My apologies.
Hi.
I don't mean to. What's it called when you just misgender someone?
Hi
Oops.
there. I'm really sad that Sunday's the last beef house. I've been doing the drawing.
Oh, you've been doing those incredible drawings. They are the greatest. Let me shout you out.
thank you.
We post them all the time, but I mean, I just want that to. I want that to run in the daily newspaper as a comic strip. We should just write you little stories.
Thank you. You're making my time in this period like so good. Thank you so much for helping out with that.
You're a
Sefa
wonderful
Faye.
person. Sefe Fef Sefa hi to you. Anything else? You just want to give yourself a little shout out.
I had a million things, but now I don't remember any of them.
I understand. The best thing to do is
Oh, you watched the movie Annie.
I watched the movie
watched the
Annie.
movie
This was the
Annie.
big news. Did you read that in Variety or Hollywood Reporter? There were people. There was big reports about me watching Annie the other day.
Yeah, you're watching the movie Annie. I wanted to know who your favorite character in Annie is.
Oh, that's a tough call. I mean, gotta love Annie. Gotta love her. This is a title character. It's hard to Hard to discount that. That's a big part of the movie. I mean, without Annie, you don't have much going on there.
Which version
the one
of
with
it,
Daddy
though?
Warbucks?
Yeah.
Is it the one with Daddy Warbucks?
Daddy's in all of them.
Is there a Annie without Daddy Warbucks? Is
I
there
was
a
thinking maybe it was Richie Rich.
No. Well, there are a few different Annies, but I'm watching the classic John Huston. What's his name that plays Daddy Warbucks in that?
Telly.
Huh?
No.
No.
I always ask.
No, it's
Forgot what his name is.
Television Savalas?
Television Savalas. Mr. TV. Mr. Telly. He's a great
Albert Finney.
Albert Finney, thank you. Albert Finney. And I mean, you gotta love Punjab. Tim Curry's in it.
oh yeah, Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett. It's good. The ending of that movie is really as I watched it, I was like, oh, this haunted me as a child. Annie climbs up the side of this drawbridge.
No spoilers.
Oh shit.
And Tim Curry is chasing her up there, and it looks so dangerous and scary. And she gets to the top, and she almost falls off. But Punjab comes and saves the day, drops his big turban down. What does she say?
She says, Punjab, help me.
Really frightened me.
And you know what he says? He goes, he says something about the courage of a little child cannot be beat or something. So she ends up surviving that encounter with the bad guys. And FDR's in it. Wow. Everybody's in it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's good stuff.
It's a good movie. I'll talk to you later.
Great.
Thank you. Keep drawing.
Thank you so much.
You know, just quickly about Beef House, we have the season finale. Okay, the season finale. I had a panic attack yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm doing my homeschooling with my daughter, which I hate to do, as you know. And it's already very, very hard for me to stay focused when that's going on. And I look at my phone and I see Adult Swim has tweeted, "Get ready for Sunday's series finale of Beep House." And I go, series finale? What are we, The Sopranos, and this is the end? I mean, so I was writing emails to everybody. What is this all about? Did I not get an email from the network saying that we weren't doing more? I mean, I'm not saying that we are doing more. We don't know. That's, but I was like, what is this how you're letting us know that there's no more Beef House? I feel like everyone's loving it.
Go fuck yourself.
And so it took all day long till they get back to me and they go, no, that was a mistake. Sorry, that was don't read anything into that. It's not the series finale.
I guess you could call that a dick.
So whatever that means, you can read into that whatever you want. But I'm just a guy trying to make little weird shows. I don't have people, that whole shit a couple years ago. Suddenly I'm deciding what shows go on Adult Swim. I got just as much sort of say and play and into all this.
I have a little behind the scenes question if you can get into it. I don't know.
Okay.
The hot tub episode.
Yeah.
Did you shoot that one last?
That one,
yes,
I know what you're
yes,
I know
yes,
what
enough.
shot you're talking about.
Enough.
I was just curious.
Of course they did.
Okay.
So you're in
I don't know
timeout.
how shit works. I don't know.
You're in timeout.
Me.
You want to talk? We'll talk.
We have so much to get to today, and
That's a good deal. That's a good question.
Yeah, that's right. I just want
I
want to know about the magic of TV.
Some people probably want me to sort of preempt the city of the day, but I will not. I will stick with my city of the day pledge to you. So today's city of the day. Let's begin today's city of the day. City of the day. It's the worst mixed thing I've ever made. It's so shitty and brown.
Sounds like the Kinks.
Yeah, it does.
Wait, what does brown mean? Is that a term?
No, I'm not really. It's just like muddy and kind of low in the mix. City of the day. City of the day is Clinton, Michigan, founded in 1782 as New Gnatuhuten. Kid Rock is from from Clinton, Michigan. Let's take a look at the weather. There's a Corona update there. We have 5,250 cases of Corona and 530 deaths. So tough stuff going on there. But the good news is, let's take a look at the weather.
That's okay.
We've got 52 degrees and cloudy. and not the best. Feels like 49. A lot of people are going out there going, well, you know what? They're saying it's 52, but it feels like 49. What the hell's up with that? So, I tell you, my mom is staying with us, and she's told me several times in the past couple days about the weather in Pennsylvania and how there's a lot of rain happening there. So, whatever. Not something I need to keep track of.
My money's on Smash Mouth.
Let's take another call. Get back to my notes here. How are you? By the way, let me just shout out Doug Loosenhop, DJ Douggpound, over my right shoulder here.
Me?
Yeah.
Boom. Well, thank you.
I want to shout you out because you did that wonderful Bill Maher video.
Yeah.
That was so good. I even showed it to my mom, and because I was like, you know, I set her up with it, and it was very educational. Like when you're right, when you kind of strip away Bill Maher's attitude and his tone, you know, listen, there's plenty of things I disagree with him about or don't want to hear, or, you know, don't really want to hear from him about. But the point he was making in that video about the way we eat, how we eat animals, and what our animal industry is doing, and the hypocrisy of blaming these Chinese wet markets when we have these disgusting conditions, the Tyson foods, and the way that we treat our chickens and pigs and cows.
Because I don't smell them.
It's really worth watching. I really recommend it, and I applaud you, Doug, for putting the work into doing that.
Well, thank you, Tim. I liked, I liked his message, but people they see his face and they're like, I don't care, and then his delivery just seems.
Well, I just went through all this. I just explained why it works.
All right. Well.
It was very powerful.
I was building to a really important point which you didn't talk about, but I'll keep it to myself.
Well, I thought I made
it to myself. No, I'm not going to say it.
I thought the point was, check me on this. Check me on this. Wasn't the point you were making that there's a hypocrisy when we talk about?
Right. I don't know. There was a pause. I felt like I had to say something, so I just repeated what you said, and I failed.
It was a total failure, like the likes of which we've never seen. Matt, where's that review from the Ed Sullivan Show? I thought it's
in the doc.
It's in the doc. Well, thanks a lot. I mean, this doc is like the Bible here.
Go to the top. Go to the top.
The very top.
But I stuck another one that was a like the week before it. So go ahead.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, but if you go to the Newsweek Slams,
I just want to read this. Okay, this came in my feed, so I can't remember who sent it to me. I apologize. I'd like to be able to credit people, but this is not. It's not like they wrote this. They're just bringing my attention to it. This is the Newsweek review of the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, one of the biggest, experiences in the 20th century, really, for many Americans.
Sullivan. What?
And I'll do this in my. Should I do this in my, what's his name, Nigel?
Oh, yeah.
Nigel voice?
I got some music somewhere.
No,
George Martin's dead.
We have to assume that this Newsweek writer was an American, but we like to pretend it was Nigel here. Visually, they are a nightmare. Tight, dandified, Edwardian beatnik suits and great pudding bowls of hair. Musically, they are a near disaster. Guitars and drums slamming out a merciless beat that does away with secondary rhythms, harmony, and melody. Their lyrics, punctuated by naughty shouts. Their lyrics, punctuated by naughty shouts of "ya, ya, ya," are a catastrophe, a preposterous farage of Valentine card romantic sentiments. No, that was the Newsweek review. Speaking of the Beatles, if you do subscribe to the Office Hours Patreon, patreon.com/Office Hours Live, you get the exclusive, as you know. I just want you to run out of your Beatles drops quickly.
I got a lot.
Well, let me just get through this, Doug, because we have a big show.
It's not just me, bud.
When I say Doug in a scolding matter, Vic, you better pay attention. Don't think you're not getting a spanking.
Everybody just cool.
Well, the big news is we're wrapping things up with Eric Nicola as we talk about the Beatles albums. We had Jonathan Rado recently. We had Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, which was cool. He was a really good guy, really nice guy. And yesterday we recorded the Abbey Road episode with none other than Michael Penn and Amy Mann. So that's going to come out tomorrow. And the only way to get it, for the moment at least, is on the Patreon exclusives. $5 a month. I don't know why you're not doing it. It's the only way to go. Let's go, Horse Girl. Horse Girl.
Oh my God, I'm here.
Horse Girl.
Hello.
How you doing, Horsey?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How y'all doing?
Yeah, doing good. Where are you calling from?
That's good. I'm in good old Toledo, Ohio, baby.
Wow, you got a southern accent.
Do I?
A little bit.
It's northwest Ohio. It's just near the Michigan border. Really close to Clinton, Michigan. Birthplace of Kid Rock, actually. Oh my God, I forgot. Sefa hi.
Thank you. Sefa hi. How are you doing, and what can we do for you?
Okay.
Second question first.
Last week on the show, we got really spooky with the seance.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was wondering if any of you guys have had any paranormal experiences.
Did I talk about this on the After Hours show instead of the real show? Does anyone remember?
What was the question again?
Did anyone
ever get spooked?
Paranormal experiences?
You ever see any ghosts or UFOs?
No.
One time I was driving and it was nighttime, and there were no other cars on the road, and it was just the way I was coming up a hill. There were these two lights that were coming at me, and it scared the shit out of me. And by the time it got closer, I realized it was just a truck. But it was like I was spooked. It would like ruin my entire evening. I really believed, like, for about 10 seconds, I really thought it was a fucking UFO.
So
I saw a UFO once, and this happens every time if you're in Southern California. You're looking at this UFO, and everyone's on the sidewalk. What is that? It turns out to be Elon Musk every time. Elon Musk with his rockets. They leave these crazy.
All right.
Wait, for real?
I want to shut up.
I'm serious.
Oh,
Let's wait. Can we talk about this with Duncan? This is a waste of time to talk about it now because we're going to talk about it with Duncan.
You can
about
bring
UFOs.
me back on when Duncan's on.
Oh yeah, I'll make a note of that.
They also released those videos though too. Those.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I didn't know if anybody knew.
I want to talk to Gabriel. Is Gabriel Gundecker there?
Gabe should be on.
I'm doing this for free.
Spooky. It was spooky.
Gabe. Gabriel?
Sefa Hyde.
Gabe?
Oh, you got that one.
Do you have that too?
I was.
Why does everybody?
Seeing him,
why?
we're not hearing.
Yeah, I see him. Gabe, can you work on your audio situation?
Hey. What?
What? That's from me, right?
Yeah,
that's
your video.
That's my guy.
What?
I want to give my blood.
Gabe, I see Gabe. I see you, Gabe, but we can't hear you. Can you speak up? Gabe?
Maybe he's watching the YouTube. Let me text him.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I saw him, and it says it indicates that his audio is live.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello. Gabe?
I mean. Sefa hi.
How do I hear hello? But
say something, Gabe.
Sing something. He can't hear us.
Gabe, we can see. Yeah, I can.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me apologize.
You know what? Zoom is wonderful technology, but every Zoom I do there's this 5-second beginning of the call that's like, hello? Are you there?
Dumb
Can you?
bastards.
And you have to press a button and everything. Gabriel Gundecker, thank you so. Am I saying your last name right? I've give us an official.
Yeah, no, you nailed it.
Well, why don't you say
nailed it exactly.
You say it.
Gabriel Gundecker.
Gundecker, because people call me all different
things. Some people
things.
do right.
Heidecker.
Gundecker, but
Heidecker. We might be related. Heidecker, Gundecker.
It's the same conundrum. Yeah.
Germanic, good Germanic, great people that came over here in the 19th century to make a go of it, and they did, and here we are.
Cobblers.
Do you come from a cobbling family?
Wake up, kid.
Yes, my George, great George was a cobbler, a shoe cobbler. So he lived in Iowa, and he was Pennsylvania Dutch or whatever.
I don't think there's any other kinds of cobblers but shoe cobblers.
Well, there's corn cobblers.
Doug, Doug and I wrote that joke earlier today. We sat down at about 7 this morning and worked out potential goofs we could do. Gabriel, how are you? And how is the First of all, Gabriel is responsible for one of my favorite videos from last year. That's I looked up on YouTube as millions of views. Actually, has million of views.
Yeah, it has
1
1
million.
million views.
It's the
Thank you very much.
beautiful Zendaya is Michi, which everyone probably has heard. But if you haven't, we'll play it later in the show. And you've got some new music out too?
That's right. Yeah. I'm doing some new music. I'm doing some more sincere. There's no joke music that I've been doing. So
no joke
that's
music.
Fun. Yeah.
It's just good old-fashioned music.
Right. Getting back to the, stripping it down.
What was the album you sent me when we met? We met like a year ago. You sent me an album that you had made that was a conceptual album. And I can't remember what it was about. Remind me what it was about. It was
Richard Dreyfuss.
It was about meeting Richard Dreyfuss, right?
That's right.
And it was really funny. It was really... Stop it.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
You can find that on streaming services?
That's on Spotify. That's on YouTube. That's on... I think it's on Apple Music.
There you go.
It's on all. Yeah,
What? How have you been spending the quar? What's been going on in your home and your personal life?
I gotta say, I've been getting really into doing binging, television binging.
Television binging, like watching one show and watching it all the way through.
So exactly. So they have done. Usually they'll air one show at a time, or if you're watching
Sopranos.
I haven't done Sopranos, but I think that could be fun. I think there's a lot of episodes of that.
Yeah, there's not a lot. It's not a cartoon. Just to give you a heads up.
Right.
Is
that something?
Go ahead.
Is that something that you could do maybe 2 or 3 of?
You can do as many as you want, man. Like, what do you think binging? What do you think binging is? It's as much as it's like kind of as like an overdose almost of the shows, more than 2 or 3. So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think doesn't sound like you're really binging Futurama if you've only done 2 or 3 in the past day or so. No offense.
Well, that's okay. No, I mean, I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out exactly. I'm working out all the kinks of it.
What do you mean you're working out all the kinks? You either keep watching the show and then get through it. Like binging it would be like, I just got to watch this whole season and just get through it. Okay, watching 2 or 3 of something isn't really even binging. So I don't even know I don't even know if you know what you're talking about.
Well, that's it. I mean, I'm going to take that as a tip actually, because now I can look and instead of doing 2 or 3, I can jump on to 4.
But it's cool. Like
5.
Now with the streaming, you don't have to sit through the commercials, so you can like get through more episodes per hour.
Gabriel, I would just try watching like a whole season of something and then tell me how you're binging. Because what you're doing right now is just watching a couple episodes of a show. It's not something to even remark about. And
okay.
You know what I mean?
No, I think I get it.
Why don't I let you go and you can go back to try to do 6 episodes of Futurama at least, and then call me.
Now that sounds fun.
Yeah, enjoy it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, take care,
guys.
That was the great Gabriel.
Love you. We'll see you next week.
We're gonna roll right into our next guest, which is.
Actually, hold up. We're still sorting out some tech with him.
Oh, I see him. His beautiful face.
I won't do what you tell me.
Connecting to audio. He's jumping in right now. Stand by, Duncan.
Hello.
Wake up.
Spooky.
Wake the fuck up, dude.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank
Hello.
you.
Duncan, are you there?
Hello.
You seem
Update available for Catalina version 10.15.3.
What is that? Is that you?
It's not me.
Hey, Duncan, you there?
Tim, I can hear you. You got me?
Yeah, what are you on the moon?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. It looks like you're coming in from another planet, which wouldn't
Can you hear
surprise
me?
me. Yes, we can hear you.
I hear you, Tim.
Yeah.
What's the update?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, it's been forever. Why are you doing some kind of prank on my show? You've got some You've got some crazy filter going on. You see that? It looks like you literally are coming in from the moon.
God damn it.
Update available for Catalina version 10.15.3.
Is that? Listen, can we settle down? I want to talk to you for a second.
Okay, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'll try to. I dropped my computer and it's been fucking up. Sorry, dude. I've been working all morning trying to get it to work.
Oh, he's come loaded. You've come loaded. This isn't going to be no 3-hour Rogan dive into your brain. This is going to be a big goof, isn't it? Well, you know what, then? You know what?
This is weird.
You know what, dude? Here's what I'm recommending, because the disrespect that you
420.
the disrespect you've shown our community here is unbelievable, and it's beyond belief. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a movement now.
That is painful for me.
Now we've started a movement.
Be reasonable.
We have created a movement. People couldn't be more excited about it. It is cancel Netflix. It is time to say no more Netflix because of the Midnight Gospel and the disgusting, awful concepts that it brings into homes. My daughter watched it and she nearly killed herself. And he's a bad guy. Duncan has always been a bad guy. And now we're seeing it come to light. You see how he disrespected our show with his little comedy skit that he did not.
We're trying to talk about big ideas.
You know, we did not sanction it. There was no conversation about it. And so I'm just asking everybody to cancel Netflix. That's all you got to do. Listen, you're not missing much with Bruise Brothers and Middleditch and Schwartz and Friends and whatever. What else is there anyways? All you got to do is watch Beef House. You don't have to watch anything else. You watch old YouTube videos of office hours if you like, but you're not watching Midnight Gospel. I ban anybody that calls into office hours or is a part of this community. I dare you to watch Midnight Gospel because I now have access to everybody's accounts. Doug, correct?
Well, if you do watch it, I do a few voices on it, so you should check it out. It's episode 3.
Right.
Daniel Hoops on that one. And...
Okay.
Good. Well, next I'm going to see you on Bruise Brothers. Next thing I know, hey Doug, are you good for next Thursday? No, man, I'm doing Bruise Brothers.
Blackwater, keep on rolling.
Holy God, I'm sweating.
Anyway,
Did we really lose him? He really did go.
Yeah, I think that was his
Holy
little
shit.
idea of a comedy sketch. And
did you dump him?
I didn't touch him. Matt, did you dump him?
No. He's texting me saying, computer problems. He said his computer's all messed up. Maybe another time.
I love to laugh. I love to smile.
The noises I was hearing from his computer were it's like one of those machines that Doug has back there.
Spooky. It was spooky.
I don't care. I don't want to hear from him anyways. I want to hear about how many UFOs landed in his backyard last night.
One Blackwater, keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on me?
Smash Cut's fucking hilarious.
I think what, for years... Wait, is this him down here? Christopher Balleau? Who's Christopher Balleau? Christopher Balleau? Is that you, Duncan? Hey, Duncan.
Oh.
Just pretend.
Hey, how's it going, Jim?
Just pretend you're Duncan. Let me just interview you and you're Duncan.
How's it going, man?
Hey, man. How's it going? What's this new show all about?
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't even know.
Come on, man. Seriously. Give me the real deal. Give me the real deal. How'd you come up with this idea?
Top of the dome.
Yeah,
right here.
Top of the dome.
Here.
And
right there.
Did you do mushrooms and ayahuasca and all that stuff to prepare yourself for this cartoon?
Every single thing.
Cool, man. All right, well, it's always fun to do your podcast, and it's been a while. So if you ever want me back on, let me know.
Nah.
I see.
When in doubt, I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay.
They're small and I can sneak them.
Christopher, what do you have for me today, Mr. E.T. Hat?
I'm just working from home. Daughter's in the other room watching Land Before Time. She's 3.5.
You sound like a real responsible dad.
That's a sad movie.
Yeah. I can see. She's over there.
What do you do that you work from home?
Say what?
What do you do that you work from home?
Video editing. So, writing. anything like that. Do marketing for different companies.
Well, as a writer, you must understand implicitly that you're ruining my show right now with your energy.
No, go ahead, cut away.
Thank you very much for calling in. Thank you for being a loyal supporter. Good night.
Good night.
What else is going on, everybody? Vic, how are you holding up?
Game? Do we want to do that game, maybe?
Nah.
All right.
The game, we have a big game, but you can only appreciate it and experience it by joining us in the After Hours experience. It's going to be really a one-of-a-kind game. Vic, what's the latest on our friends out there? I'm talking people like...
Oh, I know who you're going to ask about. Mr. Shapiro.
Mr. Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro. Just, it's so negative. I don't even want to focus too much on it, but he's just a nasty guy, and he's riling people up, saying it's okay that, the elderly are dying from the coronavirus because their life is less valuable than someone who's 30 like him.
I do think it's a little funny, like, I mean, when I saw one obituary in the New York Times, it was like, an older gentleman they gave a nice little account of his life, and he said he died of the coronavirus at 92, and he was 92. I was like, okay. He's 90. I mean, that's pretty fucking old. 92.
Yeah. But maybe like a real Shapiro right now.
I know. He could have made it to 115.
I can have multiple concepts at the same time. I don't have to then say, let's open things back up.
Maybe he was like a jogger. Maybe he was like, living his life. Maybe he was just getting into music and, writing songs and stuff.
Maybe it was a typo. It's 92 months.
Could have been.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but who wants to die? I mean, maybe some people maybe, but I don't know. I think it's terrible. But anyway...
and then Dave Rubin has got a new book out. He's got some hilarious things to say about. I wish I could find the. I wish I could find the quote, but I can't.
My brain is still in recovery mode from taking in so many high-level important ideas.
Where's how about Zoe? Zoe, have we heard from Zoe lately? Zoe?
I'm not funded by the Koch brothers.
Me?
Hey, Zoe.
Yes,
he actually is.
Oh my God.
Sepha, hi.
Sepha, hi.
There we go.
Hi.
Can we get more? Can we get more echo on your voice?
What?
Can you get yourself into like a big cathedral or something so we can get more room sound?
Scream into the corner.
I do live in a cathedral, actually.
What are you, Led Zeppelin recording drums right now?
Honestly, yeah. I live in Detroit. Everybody lives in a cathedral.
Oh, cool.
I was wondering where Aristotle is.
Well, Aristotle is staying away because of the pandemic. We got Matt here, who's kind of being more day to day on the show, and Aristotle works.
He's killing it.
And Matt's doing a tremendous job. We want to salute Matt for a second here. Matt has really stepped the show up. We've got the audio, we got the technicals figured out. We launched the Patreon, we launched the merch store. We have the secondary podcast things, and all the social media. He's doing a tremendous amount of work. Matt, I've known Matt since 1999. Worked together. I'm like Dylan, and we've had a tremendous friendship. Never really worked together really before in any kind of official capacity.
I will eat your leftist
Except
ass.
that's how we met. That's not really.
Except what?
That's how we met.
Cute.
We met where we
so
met where we
nice.
were working. Listen to this. We were working at a website that was started by the Knitting Factory, which was a sort of an avant-garde jazz club kind of deal in New York. And our job, they were launching a website. This was in 1999 during the web bubble or whatever. And it was the website was called jazze.com.
Now I'm getting excited.
Right?
Yeah.
And
This is weird.
And our job was, Matt and I's job was to take this big fucking book of jazz. It's like the Jazz Encyclopedia, and data entry biographies of fucking Duke Ellington and, Charles Mingus and everybody. And I think we probably got through 2 or 3 artists a day, because the rest of it we were just bullshitting and wasting time and listening to prank phone calls.
So you're like
stuff.
reading out of like a
Or just
like
stealing
a
information,
dictionary,
I
or
guess.
what do you call that? Funkin' Wagnalls or something. And then
Yeah, it's like a jazz encyclopedia or something. Like, you know,
okay.
just giving like basic information about Duke Ellington. So that you could go to this website. Matt, does jazze.com still take you somewhere? Oh, that would be a good question to find out.
Who bought that?
Jazze.com. It looks terrible when you write it in. You see jazz. Nope, it's gone. It's dead.
All your work is just gone. All that hard work for nothing.
For nothing, man. Nothing.
You can
Anyways.
find it in the internet.
Was that your question, Zoe, about Aristotle? Aristotle now receives the
more.
podcast, and then he uploads it to the Starburns,
No one gives a fuck.
and he deals with the ads and stuff. If you hear me reading an ad, he tells me what to do there.
Okay, well, two more little things. One is, our friend Steve Smith just released Piggy
Oh yeah.
Yes.
on Adult Swim. Have you been watching it at 4 a.m.?
No, I'm not
1 a.m.
watching. I am not watching it at 4 a.m. I'm watching it on my computer. I actually watch it on my phone. You can watch it on the Adult Swim app. We produced that. Absolutely produced it.
I know. I heard. That's so exciting.
I thought it was really
really
funny.
great.
Doug, did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm good friends with Steve and Clay, who played Piggy.
How do I know Steve Smith?
Now I'm getting excited.
He was
Steve.
he was at EPSO working on it. He's kind of like, you know, he's kind of a low key guy, but
Well,
maybe he didn't really.
Yeah, he's sweet. He just moved to Detroit, where we are. He's from here, or this area, and he and my boyfriend grew up together. So
oh, cool.
he's a nice guy, really talented.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny. I mean, I wrote him and I said, like, I was not to give anything away. I shouldn't give anything away, but I want to see more from Piggy. I love that character. It's such a great character. So you can check it out on Adult Swim. I get that nice big executive producer. Here's a funny thing about my life is I got the big executive producer credit. I did not know it existed until it's on the air. I didn't even know about it. I mean, I must have been told about it, but then I just forgot or something. But I was honored.
Your name flies up there first. Get that nice.
Tim Heidecker presents. I'm like,
producer.
A what?
Yeah.
A what? A what now? Tim Heidecker, executive producer of Bruise Brothers. And I'm like, sorry about that, everybody. I got to check my emails more often.
I got to check out that show, Bruise Brothers. That sounds cool. What is that, Tim?
Listen, I hate it. What I hate is like ragging on other people's work, because I understand. I get the most shit out of anybody. People, you should see my mentions. It's I hate your show's the least funny thing I've ever seen. You should die of cancer. You asshole. You. I was gonna say the F word, but I won't because I'm better than that. But they do say that about me. They say I should have AIDS.
It ain't about how hard
And I should be buried in the ground for the kind of work I do. So I don't like to come on here and shit on people's work, you know?
You two suck.
But if anybody saw my tweet yesterday, I said I didn't know Netflix now has a new option where people can upload their own comedy videos. It was in reference to some things I've been seeing on that site. Not Duncan's show. I thought I did, just in all seriousness, I did watch a little of Duncan's show, and it's beautiful. Beautiful looking show. And wild and
now I'm getting excited.
And I'm happy for him. So
Can I tell you one more thing? I'm sorry to keep cutting in.
Go ahead, Zoe. No, listen.
No, I'm sorry. I work at band camp. I actually just skipped a meeting to be here, so shout out band camp. Sorry, I'm doing this. And tomorrow is revenue share free day. I think you have stuff up on there, so if you promo it, we won't take a cut of whatever you sell tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I use Bandcamp a lot. I put my stuff up there. I bought the Lemon Twigs have a live record that they just put up on Bandcamp, which is awesome.
So good.
And that's good news. And tomorrow is Tim Heidecker's Art Friday. I forgot to do it last week, but I try to signal boost artists and try to buy a few things. And that's a great thing that Bandcamp's doing. And you know, Bandcamp is stepping up to the plate. And the new Puddle of Mud's new salute to Nirvana will be appearing on Bandcamp's homepage tomorrow. And Doug, did you see the somebody like slowed down the high notes of that song.
Oh, really?
Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, that's disturbing.
It's really it makes me sick to hear it. Well, Zoe, thank you so much for checking in, and all the best.
Thank you.
All the best to the people of Detroit.
I gotta put more stuff on Bandcamp. I got a few things on there. I
You know-
gotta get my Bandcamp. There's too many things to upload to get on.
I put stuff up there, and I like the fact that it's like it's very well organized, and you can only put up high quality audio.
FLV files.
No,
and
it's
stuff.
AIFs or whatever. But
FLAC.
But you can get those FLACs.
I never get a lot of money. Like people don't.
I catch a lot of flack for my downloads on there.
I don't get a lot of shit. I mean, I don't get a lot of money from it. I always try to. I'd say anything I put up on Bandcamp goes to some kind of charity. Usually, the charity is my hot tub fund. Tim Heidecker hot tub fund. All right.
We ready for our next guest?
What?
Who's our next guest? Yes, Josh. Yeah. Speaking of kind of advocacy, and I just wanted to bring Josh on because I look at everybody in the Zoom here and everybody listening. A lot of youngsters, a lot of people, just graduating from college or just kind of trying to. I'm sure.
Young, vibrant man.
trying to be probably. Trying to, make a go at it, but maybe not exactly financially secure. Especially everybody that feels financially secure right now, raise your hand in the Zoom. Okay, it's like 30%. It's not bad. But is Josh on the line?
Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Hey.
Whoa. Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Sefe, Fefa, hi.
Hi, Josh.
Hello, Sefa, hi, Mekahini ho to you as well.
We are working on it. Sefe, Fefa, hi.
Sefe, Fefa, hi.
Sefe, Fefa, hi. I was just
Sefa, hi.
Josh Androsky is a Los Angeles based activist and also a comedy writer and a funny person and a good person. And I just wanted to take a second out of the show. We haven't talked politics in a long time on this show because we've been having fun and we've been trying to distract people's brains from the disaster out there. But I wanted to bring you on because you have information and point of view about sort of the rent crisis and what people that are confused or struggling or don't know what to do about their bills and about the situation. And maybe you can speak a few minutes about what you've been doing and what people can do.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks also for having me on the show. Hey, boys. So what's happening right now is that nobody seems to give a can I say a cuss on this? No one
gives a fuck.
I think the answer there is yes.
Yes, I can. Well, nobody gives a fuck about people that aren't business owners that don't own like 6 boat stores and or are landlords. So there seems like to be a lot of powerlessness that I'm seeing a lot of people feeling right now. And it's a really shitty situation from Republicans, Democrats in charge, kind of everybody. But there are ways that you can help yourself and your neighbors. The first thing that I would say is that if you live in a city, in a major city in America, there's probably a tenants union in your city. Los Angeles has a tenants union. San Francisco has a tenants union. New York, Chicago,
Detroit,
and even smaller cities do. And what that is it's a group of renters who, if you want to do some drops, go for it.
No.
I don't. Those guys can take a fucking breath for a second. Jesus Christ.
But you could join your local tenants union, which will show you and give you tips on how to organize your apartment building, for example. It'll help you figure out what your rights are and what your landlord can and cannot do. For example, in Los Angeles, where we live, a lot of landlords are acting as though people have to sign up for payment plans right now to promise to pay back rent in a certain amount of time. that's not legally necessary right now.
Right.
So join your local tenants union. Just search for your city's name and tenants union, and you'll be able to know your rights, and you'll be able to learn how to organize a rent strike. Right now in New York, the largest rent strike since the 30s is happening tomorrow.
Wow.
I want to say it's over 1,500 rental units.
So how does that
together?
Is that because it's the end of the month? And so how does the strike work? What is it? I mean, obviously people aren't going out on the street. No one's suggesting that.
So a rent strike is when, then this is important. It's not just when you decide not to pay your landlord, because then your landlord can retaliate against you much easier. But when an entire building decides not to pay their rent, then the landlord can't exactly evict the entire fucking building.
Right.
So it's proof that there's power in a union, in a tenants union in this case.
And now let's take just sort of hypothetically, let's say there's a building that the landlord is the owner of that building, correct? Or they own it with a company, or they have some kind of, and maybe they don't own it entirely, but they have they might be paying a mortgage on that building, assuming they don't just own it outright. So they could be doing something to be working with their bank so that so it doesn't trickle down. I mean, we can paint a broad brush about every landlord being some kind of scumbag, but I'm sure, there's a fair amount of people that are just that's the vocation they've chosen, or that's how they live.
Right.
Is that they own a building and people pay rent, and that's the structure of the society. So but those people can get help on their side. Like they could get the PPP loans to keep them from owing the bank the money that they would normally get.
The PP loans, the piss pig loans, for sure. But no, you are right. You're absolutely right that hashtag not all landlords. There are like a few good apples in this bunch, and they generally, though, the problem is that they are taken care of more than tenants by the government.
Right.
So, for example, in California, the government is allowing landlords to tack the mortgage payments that they owe to the end of their mortgage for this crisis. So they don't have to pay during this crisis. They could just tack it on the end.
Right.
But right now what's happening nationwide is there's actually today, Representative Ilhan Omar is asking people to call their Congress people to support her rent cancellation bill and mortgage cancellation bill. And like you mentioned, if homeowners are also being fucked by this virus as well. It's not just affecting tenants. And so if you go to homesguarantee.com/cancel rent, that's homesguarantee.com/cancel rent.
Write it down. We'll put it in the link. We'll put it in the comments, Matt.
Great. Yeah, please do that. And then you just click that and they set up a calling tool for you that hooks you up with your congressperson, and you can demand to cancel rent. I'd also recommend, and I don't know if this is on their website, but Representative Rashida Tlaib has a bill out that'll pay people $2,000 a month for the duration of the crisis.
Right.
Everybody, every American, and then $1,000 a month for the year after to help us rebuild. So, Congress right now is kind of just on vacation, and that's fucked up, considering that we all need government right now. That's kind of like the whole point of a government is when shit breaks down, they're like, hey, we can help. So,
that's my thing, Josh. I was talking to a friend of mine. It's like, wherever you are in the political spectrum, obviously there's going to be very kind of libertarian Elon Musk types, who's I believe has much more sort of nefarious reasons for his sort of open things back up right now. But if you have this sort of like everybody should be responsible for them, even at this point in time, what do you want? Do you want people living under bridges? Do you want droves of Hoovervilles? We got to just sort of forget your ideology at this point and just say this is not the time to sort of kind of have these these kind of utopian visions about how society should be working. Right now, people just are literally trying to make sure that they don't, end up living on the street and that they don't end up starving to death. That's really where we're at right now. It's a crisis.
That's reflected in new polling came out about that $2,000 a month payment thing, and it's overwhelmingly popular with both Democrats and Republicans. Who it's not popular with is Elon Musk and the people that Elon Musk donates to in power, right?
Yeah.
So there is an absolute opportunity for everybody to recognize that in moments like this, the government has the ability to print fucking money,
right.
And the deficit doesn't matter to the actual function of a state. That was proven by the New Deal. That was proven by this guy, John Maynard Keynes, who's not the guy from Tool. He is an economist. Yes, as somebody just printed it or said in the chat, the money machine go brrr. Like the money machine can just go brrr. Like you can print fucking money.
And all that does is when I was in the 80s in Pennsylvania and there were the big steel mills and there were unions that people were saying they were getting overpaid and that they had these luxurious health benefits and stuff. I was like, but my community was thriving because, the guy that was getting too much health, he was getting dental insurance, whatever. Dude, he's going to the fucking dentist, and that dentist is buying a car, and the guy that works at the car dealership is putting a down payment on a pool, and it all fucking circulates around.
I like that Elon Musk, he also got $4.9 billion in bailouts in 2015 himself, his company.
Oh, fun.
That's
Good for him.
cool.
I guess having parents who owned an emerald mine in South Africa wasn't
enough for him.
And did he ever end up making any ventilators, or did he ever end up? He just kind of said that he was going to. Nobody's following through.
No, he sent sleep apnea machines to hospitals, and this is real. I saw a doctor write like what that does is it aerosolizes the virus.
Oh Jesus!
So that it turns the virus into like patio misters at like a driving range.
Well, I saw this the other day that some rando wrote to Trump, replied to Trump saying, I can produce like 30 million ventilators. And the guy got sent all this money and he's kind of disappeared. Is that true?
Yes. Yes. A Silicon Valley engineer tweeted at Trump like, I could make ventilators, DM me now. And Andrew Cuomo, old nipple rings himself, he gave the dude like $70 million.
Jesus
and
Christ.
And the guy has made 0 ventilators.
And he's just gone. He's skipped town. Oh boy.
I guess with $70 million, you can, I don't know, go get a gem mine in South Africa and just chill for a bit.
Well, we'll hear
Maybe
from him.
Maybe he's making them. Maybe they take a minute.
Maybe he's making. Let's give him the benefit of the
Give him the benefit of the benefit of the.
All right, Josh.
But we don't need the mask though. You saw Mike Pence at the hospital the other day at the Mayo Clinic. He was fine. he survived.
I like somebody wrote this thing that because the reason he said he wasn't wearing a mask is he said he wanted to look people in the eyes. And I think
my eyes are down here.
Alexandria, what's her name? Pelosi.
AOC.
Yeah, no. She's a writer.
Ocasio-Cortez?
No, she's a writer for the Washington Post. She's an opinion person, but she wrote, "Sweet God, where are Mike Pence's eyes?"
I heard actually he doesn't need a mask because you're immune to the coronavirus if you've never kissed anybody.
Okay.
And we all know Mike Pence is afraid of kisses.
Well, he doesn't breathe or have a pulse.
Easy now, Doug. What are you? Doug's back there. Doug. Now that Doug's lip synced.
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Now that Doug's lip synced Bill Maher, he thinks he is Bill Maher with his one arm.
Oh, new rule.
Yeah, new rule. All right, Josh. Good talking to you, man. Thank you for the updates on what people should do. I really do encourage people to at least, first of all, look at that website. Look at the tenants union and realize you are not alone. Hey, everybody. All right, see you, Josh.
I let your word straight, Jack.
All right.
Cut the tape.
Give me a little of that Zendaya is Michi song. You got that? Anybody?
No, sir.
No, sir. All right, wait. I want to talk to Mr. G Reaper. That's he's been sitting there a long time in a mask. We're gonna bring him up on the screen.
What's that G stand for?
Mr.
Gary?
G Reaper. How can we help you today, Mr. G?
Mr. Gripper.
Can you
pounding.
Haven't heard that one.
Oh, he's not making any sound, so his video won't.
Oh,
come
can you
up.
make a sound or something so your video can
noise.
Engage?
I masturbate a lot.
You know, I'm not a big fan of this. I'm not a big fan of this shtick he's doing anyways. Let's get rid of him. Sorry, pal. You can take the mask off and breathe.
Christ.
He's got a fucking skeleton mask on. Who else? How about Anna Tommy? Anna Tommy, how you doing, Anna?
Hi.
How you doing?
Sefe Fef Sefa Hi.
Sefe Fef Sefa Hi.
Yeah. Right back at you. This is really cool. I have to ask you a question.
What are you doing? Working out over there? Something? You look like you're working out.
I know this, Anna. What's up,
yeah.
Anna?
Are you on one of those planes?
Hey!
What's going on?
The bike?
What's that?
Peloton? Are you on a Peloton?
No. A Peloton. No, I can't afford one. No.
What do you got for me today?
Well, my favorite album is your album, Too Dumb for Suicide.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if there was someone who hadn't heard it before, if you were to only give them one song to hear, which one would you have them listen to?
I'm not the one to say.
Well, I guess it's personal to you. Like,
Trump is bad. He's a really bad guy. This was an outtake. I recorded this one. It was called the Trump is Bad Rap, and I'll play it for you guys now. It was not not something I released. Trump is bad. He's a really, really bad guy. Trump is bad. He's a really, really bad guy. He's fat. He's orange. He's a really, really, really bad guy. He's fat. He's orange. He's a really, really, really bad guy. He's a really, 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 really bad guy.
Love records.
So we spent a lot of time in the studio on that one and decided not to move forward with it.
Huh?
My favorite song on the record is Wilbur Ross. That's the one I love personally because I like the way it sounds. I like how dark and fucked up it is. It reminds me of my favorite band, the band. So
I like how the main character's viewpoint changes over the lyrics.
That's one of the many great things about the song.
Got a lot of podcasts coming this week.
All right, thanks, Anna.
Take care, Anna.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye now. We got Rome Davis sitting there. Hi, guys.
Good night.
You and your lovely wife.
hear us?
Yes. Where are you calling from? Sefa Hi.
Sefa Hi. Calling from New York City.
Okay. How you holding up down there, the Big Apple?
Pretty good. Just working on content. Mostly.
Good. We need more content. You got to upload your TV shows up to Netflix.
We're normal. We've got to do some videos.
Yeah, I was gonna sign up for that today. Yeah.
But yeah, every other day, like one day feeling totally zen, the next day batshit crazy. So.
Are you going to take part in the big rent strike tomorrow?
Our landlord is our roommate.
Oh.
That's a pile of bullshit.
So it's kind of awkward.
That's a little
We're like,
awkward.
Yeah, a little rock and a hard place.
Well, if you can pay rent and it's,
my frickin' landlord.
Hold on, I got somebody making art in the Zoom, which is kind of neat. Do you guys have a question, or should I move along?
I got a question. I'm a school teacher, so I'm doing all that horrible Zoom teaching experience thing. What is the most useful, the least annoying, best way a teacher has taught your kids? If that makes sense.
Well,
that's a good question.
I'll be frank with you. We had a Zoom with my daughter's teacher, and my daughter was like, she was like, what have you been doing? And my daughter said, I was riding my bike. And she said, oh, do you still use training wheels? And my daughter said, yes. And her teacher was like, in a kind way, was just like, oh, you don't need training wheels anymore. That would be fun to learn how to ride a bike without training wheels. And she gave my daughter a couple of tips, and then we applied them. And so it was very exciting that I think my daughter wanted to kind of impress the teacher that she could do it. And so that kind of motivated her. So I think just trying to be normal with them and try to engage with like what they're up to and what goals they could try to achieve during this time. So I just think be a friendly.
The social aspect of it is great, like the Zoom, like
be a friendly face,
and there's somebody that's there they can check in every week or something.
I mean, I don't know about how your kids feel about you, but my daughter, like, she treats her first grade teacher like she's like a goddess, like the president.
She's a kindergarten, so they're like.
Yeah, they can't believe that she's coming into our home on computer. She's like gets stage fright, when she comes up on the screen. So, anyways, thanks guys. All the best. Thank you for continuing to teach the children of America. Clem is very eager to speak.
Hey. Thank you.
Hi, Cal.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Sefa
hi.
Hi.
Thank you, Vic, for keeping us real.
So I've got some questions about crushing during quarantine.
What's that?
Crushing during quarantine?
Yeah, like having a crush on somebody during quarantine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the hell am I going to know about this?
Okay, honey, baby. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows anything about it.
Should I play matchmaker?
Yeah, well, actually, I feel a little bit awkward bringing it up now because I don't know if you've been paying attention to the chat, but I've got a bit of a marriage planned with somebody in the office hours chat.
Really? Who is it?
Michael.
Michael. Where's Michael?
Yeah.
Wave, Michael. Can I see Michael?
Michael's right there, green hat.
I got it.
Where's Michael? Bring him in.
He complimented my gentleman wear, so.
Michael, are you there as well?
Talking about that. I actually.
Michael,
if
say
anything,
something.
He's right. I didn't see him.
I'm here.
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
So, Michael. Yeah, we said our IDs in the chat already. But I am kind of curious about, reaching out to people that you're into during quarantine. Is anybody on Michael, Vic, Doug?
Get her out.
Michael too, but Tim?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably okay. People do what's it called, dating, internet dating and stuff like that. What's the difference, right? I mean, like.
I don't know. I guess the way I feel is that if I reach out to somebody that I've got these crushes on people that don't know me back, and if I'm to reach out now, it's like, what's the point? Because you're not going to see anybody.
Well, wait a minute.
No, you plant the seed for later.
Yeah.
Cal,
reach out.
But it could be
reach out.
Cal, where are you located?
I'm kind of close to you. I was living in Los Angeles, but I'm in Thousand Oaks now.
And where are you, Michael?
I used to live in LA until about a month ago, but I am in London right now.
No way. Long distance.
Yeah, very long distance.
I don't see Michael still. I hear him, of course.
There he is.
Where? Can you point to him?
Look on your computer to your right, Tim.
Over here?
No, your little laptop there. Yeah.
He's not showing up on my other. I don't know about this Michael.
I don't know.
Green.
What's
green.
that? Yeah, what is that hat, man?
Got a beanie.
Got to fix it up.
Cal, are you okay with that beanie on his head?
Glazer kind of look.
It's casual wear, but I can deal with that.
Would you move to London to be with Michael?
I think I could live with that. Yeah, Michael. How long are you going to be in London? Permanent?
I just got a visa that lasts for 6 years, so it's kind of indeterminate right now.
Why did you go to London? What do you do that you need to be in London? Are you one of those beef eaters? Those guys that wear the big giant hats? Come on, man. Get real. Get a real job. What is it?
I don't think you can be born in the U.S. and be that and get that job.
That's
but,
true.
But I moved here. Sorry.
Go ahead. I keep asking the same question, but what are you in London for?
I work in contemporary art, and I had been dating someone here in London from Los Angeles for about a year and a half, and then I went through this rigmarole to get a visa, which I did, and then I got here, and then we broke up immediately. So now I'm here in London and don't really know what I'm going to do.
Jesus Christ.
Out the way.
You need Cal to soothe you. Cal.
I agree completely.
Is she wearing like a 70s like tuxedo kind of
Yes,
jacket?
it's actually my last Halloween costume. I was the last gentleman on Earth. I don't know if you can see.
Michael's like, get me away from this. Michael's like, what did I just, what, I took off a big bite here. Waiter, there's a fly in my soup.
Come on now.
Sorry, Cal. I respect
It's
you.
okay. I can take it. I can take the heat.
So, Michael, you're in contemporary art. What are you going to do? What's that big, giant contemporary art building in London? That beautiful, insane building. What's it called? The
one that looks like a football?
No. The one that's
what is that one called, though? The football one.
Honestly, I don't know, because everyone refers to everything by slang terms here, so I don't know the actual.
The one that's like in a giant factory that looks like it's like
the Tate Modern.
The Tate Modern. That's a spooky place.
It really is. It's cavernous. It's very large.
It really frightened me a lot.
Well, you're in London. Your girl left you, and now you don't know what to do. I think it's time to come home to L.A. and hibernate with Cal and make children with her and become just very and make art and be. Because what I want to do.
Speaking of art, do you mind if I leave a drop for my stuff I've got? I'm an artist here.
Oh, so she's an artist too. This is cool.
Yeah. I'm a doodler myself. If anybody wants to follow me on Instagram, it's Big Dog XL, like extra large.
Okay, dokie. All right, well, I'll let you guys continue on. We have our big special guest waiting to join the show. We should have some kind of music for his introduction. We should have planned out some kind of musical introduction. Can we get the Tonight Show music up, guys, or something very celebratory? And I will do a proper introduction because he deserves a proper introduction. Anything, guys?
Are you pulling that up? I was in the middle of something, man.
You guys were.
Wait, what do you want?
Any kind of big showbiz music.
There we go.
What?
Wait.
That's wedding music.
Hold on.
Wait, no, I got it.
I got something.
Wait, I got something here. Hold on. Here we go. Wait, I got it right here. It's right here.
Hit it. Stand by.
Hold on. Is it coming into?
Is this what you brought to the table, Doug?
Uh-huh.
Come on, somebody give me a big showbiz music. I need showbiz music.
I got it, Tim. I'm just kidding. I had to do my pickle drops though. You know how I got to do it.
This work?
No.
Oh.
How about this? Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, a world premiere. Live on Office Hours, it is one of my favorite comedians, America's #1 funny man, Neil Hamburger. Neil Hamburger, welcome to Office Hours. Thank you so much for calling in.
Jesus Christ.
Neil Hamburger, welcome to the show.
Is he in?
I mean, is there any time left for me to do anything after all that? It seems we ate into some of the time.
No, so yeah, we're not gonna let you go as long as you'd like. How you doing, sir?
Well, we're hanging in there. I mean, it's definitely positives to the current situation, in addition to the many negatives. But speaking of positives, congratulations to your whole team there. I'm hearing that you guys have been winning awards for this show, and that's a very good thing. So you must be doing something right, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, there's no official awards.
What award did you hear that we won, Neil?
Oh, I'm hearing a couple different awards, I guess. Some of the awards that they give to these types of shows, some of the more prestigious awards and things of that nature is what I'm hearing. I wasn't at the ceremony, and I'm hearing this all secondhand. But a lot of people are talking about it and talking about the awards and writing about the awards. So congratulations.
Well, we've gotten a couple nice mentions in the press, but nothing, that I know of, Matt. I don't know if you know of any awards we've gotten, but it's nice people are talking about the show, so we're happy. So what are some of the...
Well, I'll ask around. I mean, I'm sure that my sources are correct.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm sure that...
I bet.
Well, because I'm hearing it from different people.
Yeah.
So, you should probably look into it. But as far as I'm concerned...
Yeah. So what are some of the... you've been, like everybody else, you're sort of in the same predicament. You're dealing with the quarantine, the pandemic. What are some of the things... You said there's some positive and some negatives. Maybe walk us through, I don't know, start with the positives. Why not?
Well, I'd rather start with the negatives because there's a lot more of those. But,
okay. Go ahead. It's your...
I mean, the positives...
No, go ahead.
Do the positives. I mean, one good thing is that guys like you and your team are getting awards that I don't know that you would have gotten without something like this, because people are home and so they're tuning in, turning on the television and watching your show. And then these award committees are they're forced to actually think a little bit harder before they give out the awards and not just give them out willy-nilly.
Right.
And I think that when you think about it, that, as they say, cream always rises to the top. And that's why I think you guys have been winning these awards. And I think that's great.
Well, thank you so much. But so you want to start with the positive? You want to start with the positives or the negatives? It's really up to you, Neil. It's really your time. So I'm curious.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess one positive, and I think all of us who work in show business would agree, and I'm sure that includes everyone on your team, but also some of the listeners, perhaps. One positive is that when you do your show, you don't have to sit there and listen to these, quite honestly, terrible opening acts. These comedians, these opening comedians, and some of these bands that are just ghastly, And the amount of time that I spend each month seething, listening to some asshole going on and on about, the worst possible topics. And I'm trapped because a lot of these green rooms are right behind or adjacent to the stage, and they pump in the sound from these losers who just drone on and on. And I don't care if you're getting only $5 for doing your show. You don't deserve it, because I'm not hearing anything good from these people. And that has been a relief. Every night around, 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock, I thank my lucky stars that I'm not listening to that trash.
So
that's a good thing. And that's really...
So you're a working stand-up
major positive.
You're a working stand-up comedian who's been doing this for many years. You would sort of self-identify as not a fan of a lot of your opening acts or other comedians.
God, no, they're horrible people. And of course, the thing is that you got to worry about is when this is over. Imagine the bad material we're going to hear from these guys about this situation, and the jokes, of course. I mean, you guys can each come up with 10 of them right now, just by sticking your finger down your throat and vomiting. But these guys are crafting them carefully in their stupid, disgusting apartments, because these guys usually live several in one apartment because they can't make any money doing what they do, and they don't deserve to make any money.
Right.
But they're ordering chocolate chip cookies from Amazon or whatever for dinner, because these people can't cook. They don't know how to cook a radish, for instance. And then the Amazon runs out of the chocolate chip cookies and sends them. I mean, you can hear these punchlines coming a mile away. Sends them the gluten-free or the vegan chocolate chip cookie. And of course, that's 10 minutes of bad material right there, as these guys describe trying to fashion this into a cookie or whatever it is.
Well, you're hard on
these guys with the hand sanitizer, right. And I don't want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about any of this. We just got over years and years of this horrible, stewardess and bad airline food, and then just when you thought it was safe, it was replaced with these pot comedians who are just the shittiest people who ever lived.
And
the unfunniest.
The pot comedians. You're
they're
not
even a gag. They're not even a gag. They just bask in the glory of like their stupid addiction, and I don't want to hear about it. I don't care. You know that you made bad decisions under the influence of marijuana. Move on and tell us a joke. You know. And so you're going to get this. Oh, I was so stoned. You know, how do you smoke weed through the N94 mask or this type of thing? And it's going to be a bad period. People are going to wish that they were quarantined again, honestly, and maybe we'll start something online like self-quarantining for people that can't stand life once they're released and have to listen to these jokes.
Interesting. So there's the positive side is that you've been able to avoid hearing all these terrible comedians and the pot comedy. But the negative is something that you see coming in the future, which is the return and the material being worse than it's ever been. That's terrific. What about another positive? Let's do another positive negative. Anything else?
Well, I mean, some of these tours have been canceled by these rotten people. You know, the Rolling Stones, they've been isolated from each other, which is what I've been advocating for the last 50 years. And, you know, keep these filthy people in their own little rat's nests, you know, and don't put them together because there's nothing worse than those guys together. You smell it from a mile away. That's why they play big stadiums. Because if you play a little club, you put those guys on the stage. It's like if you scrape all the shit from the tiger cages at the zoo and load it in a truck and dump it onto a stage. That's how bad it smells.
Wow.
So yeah, they'll play Dodger Stadium. It's an open air stadium. It's an open air stadium. And I just pray that they don't make solo albums during this time. Can you imagine that?
They might.
Ron Wood, my new solo album by Ron Wood. My God. Then the landfills get full, you know? All this extra packaging from all the home deliveries. You've got all these Amazon bags and things, padded bubble wrap and stuff. They're going to fill the landfills, but it's going to be superseded by the Stones solo albums or the Kiss solo albums, you know. At least those guys, I don't know if those guys at Kiss can go 10 minutes without putting on their stupid makeup. So they're sitting at home, you know, shaking like an addict.
So the Kiss tour was interrupted by the shutdown as well, huh?
Thank God. You know, they should put the asshole singer of that group, Gene Simmons, they should put him to work if he's breathing this fire. How about breathe it all over the streets and kill all the coronavirus droplets that are all over the streets?
Droplets.
Put him in a stroller or something, and he can lie down and they just wheel him around town as he breathes his stupid fire and sterilizes the sidewalk so that if I drop a corn nut on the sidewalk, I can pick it up and eat it again.
What other groups are you happy to see off the road, I guess?
Well, all of them.
All of them.
Because these people, honestly, they take up valuable stage time that could be used for, comics such as myself, for instance. Mm-hmm. And also these people, let's face it, you don't want to touch a microphone after one of the Doobie Brothers has been on stage, you know, and that's a pre-coronavirus problem. This has been a problem for years, you know.
You would advise other artists, comedians, musicians to avoid, even before the coronavirus, you would encourage them to avoid the microphones used by the Doobie Brothers. That's what you're saying?
That's what I've been saying for years. For years I've been advocating this. I talk to the comics I know. I tell them, get your own microphone and travel with a gallon of isopropyl alcohol, you know, because these sound guys are almost as dirty as the performers, you know, and they touch your microphone for a second, and that's contagious.
All right.
And so the coronavirus, in a way, has been nice for me because finally people are coming around to my way of thinking. And I hope that it continues with some of my other ideas. And I'll tell you something else. These joggers, you guys don't jog, do you? You don't look like you would.
Well, that's not
None
very,
of you guys
that's
jog.
not very nice. That's not very nice. But
Well, are you wearing fluorescent green spandex?
No.
Jogging outfits right now?
No.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
And so these guys, they are literally human aerosol cans spraying coronavirus all over everyone. And you go out on the streets, everyone has a mask except these joggers because they're so special, that they don't need it. But every time they step on the pavement, which is a lot of times, these guys will jog 5,000 steps, or 10,000 steps in half an hour. It's just spraying this stuff on everything. And if they're driving by cars, it's all over your windshield. And if they're driving by you, it's all over your face.
Okay, well, that's a good message.
These are, drooling. They drool, and they're disgusting people. And I'm sorry, but they're even worse in a way than the Rolling Stones, because those guys are cowered in the corner shaking like they've got a fever and it's just withdrawal. But these huffing puffy joggers, they're putting themselves out there to infect us all.
All right, well, that's a good message to send out. That's a good message. That's a good message to send out is if you're jogging, stay at home or wear a mask or just be a little more, maybe you can find a more isolated area to run around if you really need that exercise.
Maybe they can wear a snorkel and kind of stuff some paper towels down it.
Yeah, I suppose that would work.
Thank you. Yes.
Neil Hamburger, we have to run, but is there anything else you want to kvetch about?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This is a positive thing now, guys. We have a new keychain out. Now a lot of these entertainers are putting out, bad specials or, and you got Netflix putting out just one horror show after another. I think Netflix created the coronavirus so people would be forced to watch these specials when they're locked indoors. But we've done something different, which is just a non-intrusive keychain. This keychain won't hurt a fly. It comes with a key. It's a real hotel keychain with my logo on it. And they're selling them over at Flannel Graph Records on their Bandcamp starting tomorrow.
Oh,
you got to see these keychains. You got to get these keychains.
Well, that's terrific.
I tweeted about them because I wanted everyone to see the keychains. You got to get one, Tim. You got to own one.
I would
Everybody
be happy
needs
to
own one.
I'm going to buy 5, and I'm going to give them away as gifts. I'm going to make sure they're sterilized and that they've not been a carrier of the disease. Are they sterilized at the home office
sterile.
There? What's that?
Yeah. No, they arrive sterilized.
There you
clean
go.
As can be. Open them up, put them in your mouth. Do whatever you want.
You can shove them right up your ass if you want. I think that's terrific. Well, listen, Neil, thank you for checking.
We'll try advertising it that way. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, and all the best
and
to you.
Congratulations again.
Thank you. Yes, we'll look into those awards. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for that. Just flew by, didn't it, folks? That was our office hours today. If you want to continue listening, we're going to play a Beatles game, a Beatles pun game called, we don't have a name for it, but we will see you in the After Hours experience. Thank you again. Thank you to Duncan Trussell. His show is
Midnight Gospel.
Midnight Gospel. Doug Lusinoff appears on it. You've got Gabriel Gundacker, who's got new music out. You can look him up on Twitter. Of course, Neil Hamburger. Where's that? Flannel Graph
Records.
Flannel Graph Records. They carry the Vic Berger shirts,
That's
correct?
True. Yep. Or no, they have a
face holes.
Yeah, the old Vic Berger shirt.
Yeah.
But you can get my record there. That's
you can get Vic's beautiful record there, and Beef House season finale. Crab Dip. One of my favorite episodes. I was texting with Eric. We were on a call about something else. We were just texting lines from that episode to each other because we were remembering how funny it is to us, and you're going to enjoy it. Thank you all for watching. Tell your friends. Thank you all for being a part of the Office Hours family. Office Hours is on Patreon, patreon.com/Office Hours Live. Join today to get your special bundle, signed postcard, bundle. See you in a few, Patreon freaks.
Not mine, my friend. They're free to fantasize.